What's up, guys? It's the Independent John over here at ScorchedTheory, brought to you by ScorchedCast. Welcome back to the show. I know it's been about a week since our last episode, and I was covering the new lockdowns that are apparently supposed to be going down, and a week has passed, and now we're starting to see that mask mandates have already started coming back out. Multiple colleges, airports, and other government facilities. And we've also learned some new information on the Maui fires. It's still very much so rumored. People call it a conspiracy theory, but that direct energy weapons were the cause of this, or at least helped cause some of this. And there, what's crazy about it is that we're not even the first country. We, as in the United States, we're not even the first country to have direct energy weapons, which is crazy to me, as we were the only country to use atomic bombs in warfare. And we've done lots of other firsts in the world, and for people, or so they say, first, because you can't trust the media nowadays at all, and it's sad, but I got some stuff here. So in 2015, our defense contractors announced that direct energy weapons could be online by 2020. Okay. So I don't know if anybody's seen that, but that's crazy that this was 8 years ago that they were talking about this stuff. Russia, China, India, and the UK are all also developing direct energy weapons. And apparently Iran has had them since 2013. So just from historical standpoint and viewpoint, has Iran ever had advanced technology before us? I highly doubt that they had this 2 years prior to us even announcing that we were working on it. It's either they didn't have it back then, or we've had it way longer than they claim to have. And apparently in 2019 was the first time direct energy weapons were actually used in combat, or so they say. It's not proven, but it shot down a drone. So what's also scary about this is there's talk of 5G being involved in warfare. Like there's people talking about how 5G is a weapon that targets individuals. So it has like your digital, like, so humans are so-called controlled by frequencies, and these frequencies can be disrupted or amplified, or it's some crazy, I mean, it's just a theory as of right now, but the amount of heat and fire, like how hot a fire has to be to melt a car to concrete. I mean, like, melt. I don't know if you've watched any footage of the aftermath of these Maui fires, but it's so odd. And then like trees being around houses that didn't burn to the ground, but the house is completely gone. I mean, there's something not right here. And now the government's wanting to take back the land and turn it into a smart island or some shit. Like, I mean, people, we need to wake the fuck up. Like, it's time. I mean, how many more times are we gonna see corrupt, unconstitutional, disaster relishing combatives against American citizens, against people? I I mean, with this whole COVID thing, like, we are now starting to see that these vaccines don't do shit, right? with the vid. And I'm just gonna play this video that Biden stated this the other day. This is real, by the way.
President, can you say anything about the uptick of COVID cases and new variant?
Yes, I can. Matter of fact, I signed off this morning on a proposal we have to present to the Congress a request for additional funding for a new vaccine that is necessary, that works. And tentatively, not decided finally yet, tentatively, it is recommended that, it would likely be recommended that everybody get it, no matter whether they got it before or not.
So you're telling me that he wants to ask Congress for money for a new vaccine that he wants to make mandatory, or he recommends that it would be mandatory whether you got the first one or not. So we have money for that. We have money to send Ukraine, who is losing the war, by the way. We're being lied to by the media. Like, Ukraine is getting I mean, you really think that Russia is going to lose to a small place like Ukraine? You think Russia, with how populated and armed that country is going to lose to Ukraine? You don't think we're being lied to? Really? Really? But we have money for that, but the people of Maui get $700 per household. We got more during the pandemic. The plandemic, I'm sorry. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, the amount of money that this administration has wasted, and it's not even just this administration. I mean, the federal government as a whole, the amount of money wasted towards shit that doesn't work or help anybody. Like, did you know that President Joe Biden has been on vacation 360 days of his presidency, or some crazy number like that? What the fuck are we paying him for? And this guy's a career politician. I mean, he's been in politics since the 80s. This man he was considered the architect of the crime bill that put away more African Americans than I don't know what else. I mean, like, this is, we're being fucking fooled, and people are falling for it. And I'm honestly starting to think, if they fall for this whole new pandemic situation and they fall into the whole getting locked down, I mean, even if we're screwed. We are screwed. You might as well sign your life away to the FEMA camp. A concentration camp. That's what it's going to be like. Like, we are right on the verge, and I hate to say it like this, but I think we're on the verge of the next mass genocide, and it's us. We the people. So it's not red versus blue. It's not Democrat versus Republican. This is right versus wrong. I don't give a fuck what political ideology you stand for. I don't care who you voted for in the last election. I don't give a fuck if you have the toilet paper above or below, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This is we versus them. Our forefathers revolted against Great Britain over way less. George Washington's probably fucking turning over in his grave. I mean, there's, and that's the thing. I talk about these things because they need to be said, but I'll most likely, once I get a bigger audience, I'm not quite at the level yet where they start looking into me, but I'm going to be silenced. They're going to try to silence me. They're going to try to make me look crazy. And if I look crazy, then so be it. I'll get called crazy. You can judge me all you want, but I know at the end of the day that if I die, I died speaking my mind and using my rights as a U.S. citizen. And if you don't know those rights, then you need to figure it out real fucking quick, because they're going away quick. Very quick. There's so much shit that this country was brought up on, and this world was brought up on, that they're just trying to take away from us. They think that our cars are the problem for climate change, but they get to fly around in private jets that do way more damage to the ozone layer than anything else. That do way more damage to the environment than our cars do in a year. I mean, and that's the thing. They're not using them for official business. This is for their vacations and their fun shit they like to do, or their dark evil secrets. And another thing that I've been seeing a lot of is people are putting all their faith and trust in Donald Trump, which I get it. You guys, the economy was doing a little bit better under Donald Trump than it is now, maybe inflation wise or whatever. But I want everybody to listen to me when I say this, and this is no hate towards you if you like Donald Trump, if you rep Donald Trump. I've never really been a big fan of Donald Trump, even back when he had his TV show and everything like that. Like, yeah, it was a fun show to watch, whatever. But you don't become a billionaire by being a good person. You got to step on people to get to that position. And the scary thing is that if this guy did break the law, and these people are, and they can prove it, and these people are still defending him, but Jeffrey Epstein was under or in lockup, in prison, when Donald Trump was in office. Ghislaine Maxwell went to trial and got convicted during his presidency. If he wanted to release the list, he would have done it. If he actually gave a fuck about what happened on that island, he would have did more. You want to know why he didn't? Because he was most likely in on it. That man flew on the Lolita Express. That man went to that island. And I have almost no doubt in my mind that if he wasn't involved, he knew it was happening. And not saying shit is just as fucking bad. Guilt by association. I think everybody that has ever been to that island, and if you don't know what island I'm talking about, well, then you better go educate yourself, needs to be investigated. There is no reason why we have no answers 4 years later. There's no reason why it wasn't investigated back then, back when he was first convicted of sex trafficking. I mean, there's no reason for it. And there's people that claim that the media is in on it too, and that they covered it up. And if they didn't cover it up, then why is there no outrage for the list? Why is there no outrage? I mean, that's how do you get convicted of sex trafficking to no one? Where was her client list? Where's the black book that was talked about in court? And we can broadcast Kyle Rittenhouse's trial, right? Who shot people defending himself. Do I think the reason that he was there was right? That's all kind of opinion, but he was proven not guilty. But we can broadcast that. We can broadcast stupid trials about shit that doesn't fucking matter. Social issues. That there it goes again, that ratchet effect. The pitting us against each other. But all we got was some sketches from Ghislaine Maxwell's trial? You're telling me that the biggest story on sex trafficking since The Sound of Freedom, or since I've been alive, and the DC Madam scandal back in 2005, you're telling me that we couldn't even get one clip from that trial? Why do you think that is? Because they don't want us to know the truth. Regardless of whether you watch CNN or Fox News or The Independent or the Wall Street Journal or whatever the fuck, not one reporter, not one chance to see you inside that courtroom, because I'd have loved to have been a fly on that wall. But it saddens me to say that I think that our justice system is also a part of this. I mean, too many too many scenarios of cops hiding evidence and people disappearing and just never getting any answers to it. I mean, this is insanity. I mean, really, the times that we're living in, I don't know about y'all, I'm 26 years old, and I am tired of living through historic moments that are not good ones. I mean, when are we going to stand up and say enough is enough? I'm tired of being pushed around by the elitists that run this country. When are we going to stand up for ourselves? When are we going to grow a backbone like they did in France? When are we going to grow a backbone and start fucking really, like, you guys will get behind the transgender thing with Bud Light. And I say you guys, I'm not actively attacking anybody, so I do apologize if I broke your little heart. But people will get behind the Target and Bud Light situation, which, first of all, worked. But when do we start actually attacking our real enemy, which isn't transgenders? Our enemy is not someone that wasn't comfortable in their own body. I mean, yes, I've seen some of the things that are being pushed in schools and shit, and I don't think it is right now. But when are we going to start going after these motherfuckers that are robbing us blind and taking away our rights and pushing for shit that we don't want? Because the time is now or fucking never. Because it's becoming scary close to it's going to be too late. And it might already be. How about instead of condemning people that are bringing this stuff up, like I get a lot of hate comments on social media about me being a conspiracy theorist, a tinfoil hat wearer, blah, 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 blah. How about instead of condemning those theories, because there's a lot of them, and some of them are crazy and abstract and totally false, but they're put out there to discredit the things that are true. Alex Jones was talking about Epstein's Island years before we knew about Epstein's Island. I mean, it's insane to me. And now he's banned like on every platform, like where you can't hear him unless you go to his website. Which, I mean, there's also some doubts about him too, that he's controlled opposition. But like, that man broke into Bohemian. I mean, Bohemian Grove is real. Like, we know that place exists, and those politicians and people of power and these billionaires actually go there. We know MK Ultra was real. Bill Clinton admitted it. Operation Northwoods was real. Like, you really think that 9/11 was pulled off by some dude with a turban in a fucking cave halfway around the world with a satellite phone who did cocaine and fucked hookers, and you think he orchestrated the greatest attack on America since Pearl Harbor? You honestly believe that? And then within 24 hours, we knew it was him, and we went over there and bombarded his whole fucking country and took all their oil. And that's what's crazy about it, is the fact that we gave him the weapons 20 years before. We funded ISIS and Al Qaeda. So the government learned that they can cause the problem and sell the solution. I wonder how much money they made off of Iraq and Afghanistan. Because you can look up the numbers of how many soldiers died and how many innocent people died. How much money was thrown in the trillions of dollars of debt we put ourselves into for that war, for oil tycoons to load their pockets up even more. I'm losing faith in my fellow man, and I say man as in human being, not men or woman. I'm starting to think that everything that fellow people like me talk about is going to be for nothing unless people wake up soon. This new COVID thing that they're doing, putting mask mandates after literally saying earlier this year or last year that masks don't help, that masks actually make it worse because you're breathing in bacteria that sits on your face all day. And people are still going to mask up. People are still, like, they're forcing children to wear masks. I really hope that we can all come to a common ground and stop fighting over race and religion and politics and start coming together and helping our fellow men and women and making sure our neighbors are straight. Start growing your own food. Start, purifying your own water. Become independent because they want us dependent on them. Because if we're dependent on them, they can easily manipulate and control us. That's all I have to say for tonight, guys. Thank you. Come back here at ScorchedCast. We like to ignite the conversation. Have a good night. Stay frosty.